Hi, I'm Terrinique Pennerman, founder of the best-selling naturally curly hair care brand Kurlee Belle and host of the Terrinique Show, a show where we talk about hair, a woman's crowning glory. I'm so happy that you've allowed us to be a part of your hair care journey, and I hope that you enjoy the show. Hi, and welcome to another episode of the Terrinique Show. I'm so happy that you guys have decided to join us for another episode. On today's episode, we're going to talk about 5 things they don't tell you when you get box braids, or 5 things you don't remember, that happens whenever you get box braids. I mean, I love box braids. Like, they are a lifesaver when it comes to saving time. You can just get dressed and go. You don't have to worry about your hair. Just throw it up in a ponytail or leave it out. They make your life a lot simpler when it comes to, doing your hair or hair care. And, I think that box braids make people look younger because they're trendy. It's like something that's in fashion, right? So you're like, okay, like they never go out of style. They have been in style from when I was a child, and they're timeless. It doesn't go out of style, and it's a great style for vacation, for the summer. I mean, it's a great style for your kids as well because you don't have to do their hair. You just got to put it up in a ponytail or make sure it's secure, and it looks neat and it looks good. So anyway, here are 5 things they don't tell you about box braids, because I haven't had box braids in maybe a year, and I just got them again. And I'm like, wow, I didn't remember this. So maybe it will help you if you're considering getting box braids, or if you have box braids and you're like, okay, I can relate to that. Maybe these are just like things you're like, okay, but it's worth it. Number 1, they may pull out your edges. So you have to pay attention to your hairline when you have box braids in, because as your hair grows out, the braid tends to be it loosens up, right? And then the hair that's closest to your scalp, it can kind of twist. So the braid can kind of twist, and then it can pull out your edges. So you have to be mindful of that. I mean, I'm the kind of person, I will take a braid out and just leave that hair out and still wear my box braids just so that I can keep my edges. So you just have to be mindful of that. They can pull your edges out. What you can do is just make sure every morning you're spraying your hairline with water, just to keep the hair elastic so it doesn't get dry, brittle, and break. And then maybe putting some oil on your edges. Just put the oil on your edges just to keep the hair moisturized. So that means that it will help your hair to be healthier. It will help your edges to be stronger, so you limit the risk of the box braids pulling out your edges. And number 2, I did not know this one until now. Listen, they may cause an allergic reaction. I have been wearing box braids all my life, and I've never had an issue with an allergic reaction. So I was going to the gym, I had them up in a ponytail, and they were like sitting on my shoulder. And when you're working out, you're sweating, right? So the sweat mixed with the hair, because if you get the synthetic type of box braid, and I learned that there's natural hair that you can use for your braids, but the synthetic hair, it has chemicals in it. And those chemicals can interact with the skin and cause you to have a nasty breakout. I'm like scratching and itching. And then sometimes, like if I don't wear my bonnet at night and I sleep, if you sleep on your arms, then you can get a breakout there. So I noticed like a rash on my neck and on my arms, like the areas where I sleep. And I was telling my friend about it. I'm like, oh my goodness, I have to take out my braids because they're causing a reaction. So yes, there are chemicals in synthetic braids that can cause an allergic reaction with your skin. Some people are like, listen, even me, I'm like, these braids are so tiny. I have to sit and take these out, and I just got them. But like, is it worth it? Like, do I just suffer through the skin? reaction. But what I've done now is just I keep it up. I'm gonna keep it up and away from my skin. At night, I put my Kurlee Belle bonnet on, you know, just so it doesn't touch my skin at night. But, you know, braids can cause an allergic reaction. So if you already have sensitive skin and you break out really easily, I would tell you to look for, excuse me, I would tell you to look for braids that are natural, that will not irritate the skin, because especially if your box braids are longer and they're gonna be hanging down on your back. I mean, I noticed my back was itching and I'm like, what is going on here? And it was because of the box braid. So just be mindful of that. If you already have skin issues, you wanna be looking for the natural braiding hair that you can use that doesn't have chemicals on it. And if you have any other suggestions, maybe the hair needs to be rinsed out or something before you put it on, maybe that will limit, you know, the allergic reaction that you'll get from wearing the hair. Number 3, your neck may hurt. Like, we don't remember this. It's like, okay, I had box braids in the past and I'm like so happy to have them, and I did not remember that your neck, because they're heavy, so the weight of the braid, especially if they're longer, it's too much weight for the head. And if you have natural hair, you know, your neck is already used to the weight of your hair. So you're like putting this abnormal weight on your neck or on your head, and it's causing the strain. So for days after getting my braids, I was like this, like I need to go and get a massage. So the weight of the braids can cause your neck to hurt. A way that we can limit this is maybe getting, you know, shorter braids, not so long, not all the way down here, you know, because the more braids you have, obviously the heavier your hair is gonna be. But it's just a result of wearing box braids that, you know, your neck may hurt. Number 4, they can be difficult when it comes to sleeping, so sleeping comfortably. If you haven't had box braids in a while and you've been wearing your natural hair, you know, you already have your rhythm of how you sleep on your pillow, you know, your comfortable spot. But with this added hair, and especially because it's like big and like bunched up, so if you put it in a bonnet, right, and you have all that hair in the bonnet, you're gonna have to find a position like to sleep in. And I find that if I put it in a ponytail and it's in a bonnet, then it starts to tug at the hairline, so at the edges. So I like pull the hair out, so I loose up the hair that's, you know, on my hairline, so that if I turn to this side and sleep, the hair doesn't, like the stress from this being in a bond doesn't pull on the hairline. So it's like a trick to finding a comfortable way to sleep, because, you know, it's so much hair. Like, I'm like, can somebody help me? Can y'all come and help me take this out? Because I'm just gonna, it took me like 8 hours to get it in. So I'm like, how long is it gonna take me to take it out? I'm gonna be doing this by myself. And they're super tiny. They're not like big, you know? I don't know what I'm gonna do, but anyway, they can be sometimes uncomfortable to sleep in. So you gotta find like a position, you know, that you're comfortable sleeping in. And then number 5, again, taking them out isn't fun. You know, getting them, if you're sitting there for 8 hours, that's not fun either, but you're like, whatever, I'm gonna rock my box braids for 2 months. And, you know, the takedown process can be a little bit, not annoying, but irritating. Anyway, you know, it's just not fun, right? So when I'm taking them down, if I find any tips or tricks, or if I just have anything to say about when I take them out, I will let you know. I do know that using a bobby pin, like, so straightening out a bobby pin and using a bobby pin to loosen up the braids to take them out, that works really well for me. Also, you know, cutting the braids a particular length that you know your hair isn't that long. So just cutting them, that also helps with the takedown process. Again, 5 things they don't tell you about box braids. Number 1, they may pull out your edges. Number 2, you may have an allergic reaction to the synthetic braiding hair. So maybe look for natural braiding hair, especially if your skin is prone to like breakouts. You want to be using natural braiding hair. Number 3, your neck may hurt. In the beginning, I was like doing this, massaging my neck because it was hurting, because this is a lot of hair, right? Number 4, it can be difficult to sleep in box braids, so you gotta find, use a bonnet or find a position that works for you, because this stuff is heavy. And number 5, taking them out isn't fun. So these are just things to remember before you get box braids, or if you have box braids and you agree, please leave a comment, let me know. And if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. I hope that you have a great day.